Hello, this is Vince, a meteorologist at the National Weather Service in Grand Forks, bringing you another edition of A Look Back. We are trying once a month to examine one historical weather event from eastern North Dakota or the northwest quarter of Minnesota. Last month's event was the blizzard of 1966. We have also featured the record fall, winter, spring, and flood of 1896-97. These links can be found on our office YouTube page. Since this April has been so cold, the featured event this month is the coldest April on record, which occurred in 1893. This chart shows the daily departure from normal temperatures at Moorhead, Minnesota for April 1893. There was only one day in the month that was above normal. April 3rd, which is shown here by the red bar. This is another way to look at the information from the prior slide. This time, daily highs are shown at the top of the bars, and daily lows are shown at the bottom. For example, on the one above normal day on April 3rd, the high was 50 and the low was 34. The red line represents where normal daily highs should be, and the blue line shows where daily normal lows should be. The 50-degree high in the 3rd was a little above normal. April 10th shows no bar, which means the temperature was exactly normal that day. Looking at the same information in the daily high and low format, 58 degrees was a little above the red line, and the 24 degrees was a little below the blue line. You can see how this averaged out to be exactly normal. However, the 58 degrees was the highest temperature for the month. The rest of April 1893 was cold, with multiple days well below normal. There were 4 days in April 1893 that still hold the record for the coldest highs. Now let's take a closer look at precipitation. This chart shows the daily snowfall amounts at Moorhead, Minnesota. Snowfall was reported from April 6th to 8th. Some sort of hybrid low pressure system tracked from west to east across the northern plains during that time frame. Most available reports showed a mixture of light rain and light snow from this system. Moving ahead, steady rainfall occurred on April 11th and 12th. Quite a few locations reported over an inch of rain. If you remember, temperatures were warmest in early April of 1893. That, along with this rain, really helped push along the April 1893 spring flood. The rain changed to snow and then a blizzard. Moorhead itself did not get much snow from this event. This is a surface map from the morning of April 12th. It shows a Colorado low lifting up into Minnesota with a lot of circles around the low. This implies very strong winds. The state boundaries are hard to see, but North Dakota is shown in purple. Up to a foot of snow fell to the west of the Red River Valley. The rain, followed by wind-driven snow, was particularly hard on livestock and wildlife. About a week later, another heavy snow came on April 19th to 21st. Again, this appeared to be a Colorado low with strong winds. North Dakota is shown in purple. This time, the axis of heavier snow was along the Red River Valley and into northwest Minnesota, where 1 to 3 feet of snow fell. The strong storm captured the headlines in one St. Paul newspaper. Again, about a week later, another storm hit on April 25th to 27th. This storm also appeared to be a Colorado low, which are known to bring heavy precipitation amounts northward. The Park Rapids to Wadena corridor picked up about a foot of snow from the storm. This chart shows the snow totals for the entire month of April 1893. The 2 late-month snow events hammered the Bemidji to Wadena corridor especially hard. So to repeat, April 1893 remains the coldest April on record for the Fargo-Moorhead area. It also holds the 5th highest April snow total. This chart plots the daily snow depth at Moorhead from late March through early April 1893. The most snowmelt occurred in late March, but it took until April 27th before it was finally gone. As mentioned above, the rain and slightly warm temperatures during early April 1893 did kick off the spring flood. However, river ice and ice jams were a big issue due to the late month cold. The flood started at Wahpeton on April 10th, then pushed northward into Fargo a few days later. Flooding became worse north of Fargo. In Grand Forks, the water topped the center pier of the Northern Pacific Railroad Bridge. North of Grand Forks, the river spread out to 10 to 12 miles wide in places. Pembina and St. Vincent were hit particularly hard. Boats were the only means to get around, and floating ice wrecked several buildings. Because of persistent flooding on the Red River, lawmakers proposed a project to reroute the water flow in the southern Red River Valley to flow southward into the Minnesota River. Locals were getting annoyed at the persistent big floods. That concludes this look back at April 1893. Thanks for listening.